welcome to Pilates. We're gonna go up, and then on your exhale, we're gonna bring it down, and we'll start, we'll start with a down dog where you walk your heels towards the floor. Walk your heels towards the floor, so it's a right and a left motion, and you're pressing your hips back. Now we're gonna lift both heels and lower, and then lift both heels and lower. You should feel like your feet are waking up, your calves are waking up. And then lower your heels and hold for 5. And then shift your weight to a plank, and you can go to your forearms when you're in your plank, but you're shifting your weight so that your hips are lower, you're parallel to the floor. Hold, good. You might tuck your pubic bone under a little bit, Miss Karen, just the tiniest bit. Inhale, lower the hips. Excuse me, Sphinx or Swan, wherever you need to be. We're gonna open up the back so you feel like your upper back is getting a stretch. Hold. Nice job. Lower your torso, lift up both legs. Now lower your legs and lift up your torso, and then let your hands push you higher. Now lower the torso and then lift up both legs. Inhale, lift your torso. Now this is for posture. Your whole back body, we're gonna keep going. Lift up your legs. Good, hello, welcome. We're doing some swans where the upper body goes up, the upper body goes down, and then the legs both lift up and the legs go down. And just continue. You're going to dictate your height on all of these. Up. But we're waking up that entire back body. Now we're going to hold this, either a Sphinx where the forearms are on the floor, or a swan. So hold 10, breathe 2, good, that looks great, probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and lower. Now, once you're here, we're going to take our hands beside the hips and lift up your torso. This is for your upper back. And if you want to lift up your toes, you can, your knees, and lift and breathe. 10. Good. This is building strength in the back body, that part of us that often can get rounded forward if we don't intervene, but we're intervening. We're strengthening the back body. We're opening the front side. Breathe in. Make sure your neck is in line with your thoracic spine. You shouldn't feel like it's cranked high. There's probably a little chin tuck here. Now relax for a moment. This time the hands can go at the lumbar spine. You can rest one on the other, or if you can, encourage more flexibility. Palms together, interlace fingers, lift up your back, lift up your toes. Inhale. Lift up with each inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, try 5 more counts. 6. Inhale. Now push back to a child's pose or a down dog, your choice of recovery poses. And then shift your weight down to a plank, or excuse me, to the floor, pelvis down. And this is going to be a breaststroke movement, so big arm circles. We want to encourage scapular mobility, so make those circles as big as you can. It's sort of like your swimming laps, but you can make it a bigger circle. Slow it down if you want. Breathe in. Now, if you'd like to add on, flutter kick your legs at the same time to work the hamstrings and the glutes. Lift your torso. 4, 3, 2, and one more. And again, child's pose or down dog. You can choose your recovery pose of choice. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now you can step or jump up to your hands. We're going to drop the tush. Carefully roll down. We're going to do another exercise for the spine and the posture muscles to get and extension. So you're curling one vertebra at a time up into bridge, lumbar, and thoracic. And then you're lowering down. So if you feel any tightness while you're doing this, this is a great chance to segment, articulate the spine. There's a saying, you're as young as your spine. So when you do bridge, you'll push the lumbar spine down and then you'll peel the lumbar spine up. And again, curl. One more, and then you're going to hold it. So with your hips in the air, you establish that they're even. You feel like your glutes and hamstrings are working. You have a little space underneath your neck so you don't feel crammed in the neck. 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale, exhale, lower down. Nice. Now we're going to take a happy baby with the hands going to the feet and pull the knees down on either side. You can even add a little right and left rock. You should feel some hamstrings and lumbar spine. Nice. We're going to take one set of the crisscross, which if you would like a backup plan, you can also do another set of bridges. We're going to take 20 of these crisscrosses, rotation, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, good, 18, 19, and then 20. Now lower your head down and take your feet a little further away in a longer bridge. Now your toes don't have to touch the floor on this. You're going to activate, lift up your hips. You're going to activate your hamstrings and glutes 10 times in this longer open knee angle. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you're going to hold it like we did before. So 10, 5, 2, recover. Now a full body stretch for a moment. Move your ankles, move your toes. Now barely bend the knees. So you have a soft knee, let's say an inch or so. Lift up your hips, down and up. Still working the hamstrings and glutes. We're working the hamstrings with the different knee angle. The back body is so important to activate. It can sometimes get an amnesia in the glutes after long periods of sitting. So we're working different angles. Try to feel like you're symmetrical. Both legs are pushing equally. Also, lower your body. Don't let gravity plop your hips down. So take 3 more. You lift and you lower. You're never just dropping into the ground. So hold it for 10. Feel those hamstrings. Woo! 5, 2, and then let go. Full body stretch at first. Roll through your ankles and your hands and your toes. Now lift up one leg, and you're going to feel like it's in a hamstring stretch. I want to offer that if you would like to take Utthita Padangusthasana, you're going to lift your left leg, you're going to hold onto your right toes, and you're in an ab crunch. If you need to do something else, let's say you have osteo, you can just do the leg and the leg up and leave the flexion of the spine out. And then switch. Now you're in a hamstring stretch. One leg can be off the ground about 6 inches. One leg can be up in the air. You're in a spinal flexion if you'd like, which means for most of us the shoulder blades are just barely off the ground. Good. There's a chin tuck, so you're probably looking down at those toes that are closer to the floor. Breathe in and relax. Now both legs go up. We're going to take a small scissor. So right now I'm showing a modification for the hamstrings. I've got a little knee bend. The ribs are down and I can feel my abs stabilizing this lumbopelvic stability area. If you would like to make it harder, you can come up and take 16 of these single straight leg stretches and 8 more. And 2 more, and then recover. Now both feet down, take bridge, and this time lift your arms overhead. So you're in external rotation. The palms are facing the sky. 5, 4, you're opening up those hips that we just had in flexion. 3, 2, and then lower. We are going to sneak in a right ankle to left thigh stretch. This is a great hip opener, and we'll just act, it's more about mobility and getting some synovial fluid in there and introducing some movement in those ankles, toes, rock. Good. Feel all those deep hip external rotators. And then inhale. Try the other side, ankle to thigh, reach your hands through. I like to clasp the hand. If you have trouble reaching, you can either put a pillow under your head or put this further foot on the floor to help keep your hips in a stretch that works for you. Excuse me, put the foot on the wall. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then on the 1, you can grab your thighs and use a little kick to come up. Grab a sip if you'd like. Great job. And we're going to go back and do a little bit more of that thoracic extension. So when you're back here, we're going to take a thoracic extension exercise that adds on the rear deltoid. It's really important for preventing rounded shoulders. All right, so when you're ready, you're gonna have a little abdominal lift and then lift your arms. You can stay right here with your arms in this I position. Now lift the arms higher than your body. 10 repetitions, rear deltoid. You're also gonna feel your scapula retract towards each other. Good, up. Now we're going to take a T position. So if this serves your shoulders, go into a T. If it does not serve your shoulders, modify by lowering the arms again, maybe towards the I position. Try 5 more. Try to fire both arms equally. Rear deltoids, a little scapular retractors. Now the arms are going to move like a Y. So here we go. Lift the arms higher than your body. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Recover, and let's windshield wipe to recover. Now the knees are very handy in our next position for bow. You're going to reach your right hand to your right foot or ankle if you can. If not, use the Dynaband to extend. Left hand to left ankle. If you cannot do that, just do one at a time. We'll do this 2 times. Here we go, up. Now I'm going to soften the neck. Make sure you're not cranking your neck up. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Recover for a moment. And if you only had one foot, now you're taking the other one. If you had 2, let's do it again. Here we go. Inhale. Inhales facilitate extension. Use that to your advantage. 10, 2, you don't have any tension in the neck. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, child's pose or down dog. Your choice of a recovery pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shift back down to a forearm plank. Let's take it for 20, 2, 3. Energize your legs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Good. And we'll do a recovery pose, Sphinx or Swan. Stretch out your back, stretch out your abs and hip flexors. Now, we're going to go to a side plank, so your elbow can be underneath you. I'm going to fold my mat a little bit so my arm has a little bit, my bone has a little bit more protection. Here we go. Up. Good. Notice the hips aren't sagging. Notice I'm stretching out through my hands, both of them. The hand is flat on the mat here, hand is up. So we're opening up those muscles that tend to be in grip. And that's also nice on the nervous system to have that hand flat on the surface. Good. Feel how your abs are working here, head back. Now inhale, we're going to exhale, lower at the hip always, whenever just collapse at the shoulder. Hit the other side. And stacking the feet is going to be a little harder or more challenge for balance. Staggering the feet is a little easier. Good. You want to feel like you've got awareness in that core. Stretch out the hand, stretch out the hand. Notice I'm not letting the head poke forward. We're always integrating the posture cues no matter which plane we're in. Good. We want the head to know, because we practice it in class, we want it to know where its place is here in line with the shoulder from the side view, so it easier corrects it when we're during our day. 5. So if you're looking down at your phone, your head will say, hey, I don't want to be here, and it'll pull back. 3, 2, in, lower. Good job. Nice job. Now this one, I want you to listen to your body. If you need to do a bound angle instead or a front plank instead, you can. I do want to offer a reverse plank for those of you that your shoulders tolerate it in a table or in a long levered position like this. So this is also called Purvottanasana. 10, 2, soft knees, 3, 4, good. 5, that's a good one, Karen. 6, 7, good, Michelle. 8, lift your hips if it's okay. 9, lower your hips. Let's take care of those hands for a moment. Interlace and massage. Let's say 3 to 5 circles each way. Palms together, separate. Feels so good. And notice your spine lifts too. Fingers down, your elbows long. Pull your fingers down. Oh, that feels so good. Let's do one for the ulnar nerve. Thumbs together. Also, this is good for neurology. So thumb and first finger touch. Flip your 3 fingers till they're underneath your jawbone and try to circle your eyes. Make goggles. 5, elbows lift. 4, also good for the ulnar nerve. 3, and stretching out those hands. 2, and 1. Really good. Let that go. Grab a sip. We're going to do a little bit more for the upper body here. Now, this one's good for posture and back strengthening. So I'm going to have us put our arms kind of like little triangles near the hands or near the temples. Lift up your right leg and lift up your torso. As you extend the torso there, you're going to add a rotation. Left shoulder is a little higher. Now lift up your left leg, lift up your torso, but let your right side rotate. So this is extension with rotation. Right leg is up, the torso's lifting, and also the left shoulder higher because you're rotating. And I'm moving slow here at first because I want to go through the cues. This is that posterior oblique chain. Like when you walk or you do cross-country skiing, you can feel when you kayak. So left arm and right leg, or right shoulder, upper quadrant of that torso, and left hamstring. So pay attention. Is the hamstring lifting? Are the hips anchored? You're making sure not to rock. Good. Up, up. Your neck should feel easy. You're strengthening the muscles that help prevent forward head syndrome, but your neck should not feel like it's cranking head up. One more on each side. And either a child's pose or a down dog, whatever your recovery pose is. So that's really good for also, we're trying to always build bone density in the spine. And then come back down. Now, once you're on your belly, you can take, most of us can take our arms like a Y, but if you need a modification, lower the hands. So like Michelle, you might keep your arms a little lower. So now, right now my face is hovering above the floor. I'm going to lift the right arm and the left leg, and then the left arm and the right leg. The right arm and the left leg, and the left arm and the right leg. Right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. I'm going to take a look. Good. Right arm, left leg. Now, if you're feeling good here, all the limbs come off the floor, and you continue to do that right arm, left arm, right leg. Now we're going to add on a different breath. Inhale, inhale through the nose, and exhale, exhale through the nose. So percussive. And recover. Now I'm going to offer a child's pose with the toes curling under this time. So the heels are straight up. We do need flexible feet. We do need those feet awake. We need them for flexibility, for the brain. Come on up and take a sip. You're doing great. So I'm going to get my other water, and then we're going to do a hands and knees position. So if you know your knees are sensitive, you might go ahead and put a mat underneath your knees. We're just putting our weight on it though, so you just want a really comfortable mat. If your wrists are super sensitive, you can also just fold your knuckles here and put your knuckles underneath, or hold on to a beveled weight and your hands go beneath. So basically what I'm saying, there's all sorts of modifications. Keep your back neutral and take your right arm and your left leg out without drooping in the spine or the head. Yeah, then lower. So the back's the same, and left arm, right leg. Now, just go slowly on these first ones so you have good feedback on form. We want to ingrain the right form, so stretch out the back leg. Good, everyone looks good. No one's drooping in their head. No one's drooping in their lumbar spine. If you would like to take this harder, all the toes, all 10 toes, all the shins, all 2 shins are off the floor. Right arm, left leg. Now you don't have the little toe help. Right arm, left leg. Good, and just pretend you've got fancy dishes on your back. You don't want to droop them. Or you've got a big bowl of sag paneer and you don't want it to spill. All right, now the next one is right arm, left leg. Pull your right elbow to your left knee. Touch it if you can. So you're in flexion. Extend, flexion, elbow to knee. Try to keep your right toes off the floor if you want that extra balance challenge. And you do. You want to fire the multifidus. You want to fire the transverse abdominals. 3 more. 2. You're working towards that even if you can't do it now. Now we've got the other hand and knee down. I like to re-regulate. Am I neutral? And then realign. Left elbow, right knee. Stretch. And we don't see that back leg, so you want to feel, am I strengthening my knee? Am I lengthening my knee? Your spinal flexion adds the abs. That's what the abs do. They flex the spine, or the rectus abdominis at least. Good. 3 more. 2. And 1 more. And then relax. Now we're going to take a child's pose and pat the back. So what this does is open the triceps a little bit, the lats a little bit underneath that armpit. Lumbar flexion, of course. Come back to hands and knees. And if you'd like, try the right leg up. That may be all you do. Left arm may be up. Maybe you'll hold onto your foot and stretch. Look at how this opens the front side of the body. Look at your strengthening. Right hand is strong. Scapula is broad and wide. Push up, up, up. Good. And lower. Now you're neutral. You're going to lift up your right hand and your left foot. Now push, push, push. Your left hand strong on the floor. So your scapula feels broad on your back. Stable. Lift up that knee. Lift up that knee. Keep floating up. Like a helium balloon is attached to your foot and your hand and it's pulling you up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Grab a sip. Good job. If you would like a child's pose, take it. Nice job. Good job. I'm going to do a little lie back now. Pretend I'm with you and we're doing a partner drill. I'm on this side, I'm on this side, you're on this side of me. Our legs are going to go up. Now, I've got the hands beside the hips as a frame. Start lowering your legs a slight diagonal left. Heels can touch if you can maintain ribs connection to the mat. Slight to the right. Now, you're in control of how low you go. If your low back pops wildly off the floor and you can't stabilize, then you just go a little less. Better to have a smaller range of motion with that rib connection. All right, we're going to do 6. But if you can go big. 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1, and hug. Nice job. Now I'm going to have you bicycle your legs. just this motion in the air, big range of motion. If you take the legs bicycle away from you further, you're going to feel more abdominal tone, like you have to keep your ribs down. You have to focus on that. Those of you that would like to add on, you can come up 5 times into a bicycle. Try not to throw one leg forward. So try to keep the bicycle movement even. Try not to throw your arms forward. You can even make it harder crossing your sternum. 2, 1 more. 1. Now a full body stretch. Shift through your body. And wonderful. We're going to take 30 seconds on each plank on this, just for an objectifiable number that we have in our mind. So forearm plank, we're going to do 30 seconds, and then we're going to go right into the side plank. So get ready, come up and hold 30. Good. It's nice to have some numbers that you know you can achieve. And a lot of times, you know, we do a minute. Today I'll just do 30, 30, 30. Good. You're already at 15, and you're already at 20. You're already at 25. Get ready. Now, if you need to break, you can, but I'd like to encourage you to flip to one side. 30. 5. 10. Good. Of course, listen to your body if you need to. 15. A way to modify would be to put a knee down or a foot down. 20. 25. 30. Now go to the other side. I have to turn my body or I can't see the clock. So 5. 10. Good. Stretch out through your hands. 15. 20. 25. Inhale. Exhale down, and 30. You did it great. Now I want to give us a few stretches. They also go along with posture. Open up your arms, add a rotation. Your hand can catch your knee. Your other hand can catch the floor. We know that upper back rotation flexibility is critical to preserve upper back posture. In other words, to not have us round forward. Imagine your inhale lengthens your spine towards the sky. So you have more space between the vertebra. Your intervertebral disc have more plumpness, more space. And your exhale might micro-rotate you. Now notice what this side feels like, but without judgment, go to the other side. Is one side tighter? And then let your focus, inhale. So your breathing has intention. Your stretching has intention. And you notice it's not static. Usually the exhale will allow a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rotate. 5, 4, 3. Inhale. And then face forward. Now we're going to go up and back. So this is one stretch called the, hello, good morning. This is one stretch called the rack. And I'm soft on my wrist. This is a posture stretch. Lift your heart. And then let go. Good job on that Pilates section. Grab a sip, and we're going to be working on our strength training with bands and dumbbells. Good job. Now grab a heavy band. Your purple, if you have the Spree series, is heavy, or you can also grab 2 bands, but grab a heavier band. We're going to start seated on the floor. So if your hips feel tight, just grab a pillow, and that way you can slacken the hips. Walk your fingers forward and then sit up. So that way, as soon as you start pulling, you've got tension. You want to feel like your elbows are long at the start, and then you bend them and you've got some tension right away. Now notice it's a great place to work on your posture muscles, your ears in line with your shoulder. 8, 9. You might be able to pull a little further now because our arms are warmed up. The brain is warmed up too. The first gains are in the neural system. Now, if you want to add on, let your palms flip up, so it's called supination when you pull back. So you can be neutral where the thumb is facing up and then your palm is facing up. Let's take 6 more. Pull a little further than you think. 5, you can. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, I'm going to have us just roll the shoulders a little bit. A little bit of movement. Walk your fingers forward again. We're going to add some rotation. So I'm going to offer that supination of the hand as you rotate. So you rotate to one side and then you supinate. Rotate. Good. It's good to have little neural patterns of coordination with exercise because now your brain is getting some more blood flow, unlike when it's at rest. And we're adding the coordination or the choreography or the slight memorization, and that's going to help prevent dementia. In other words, keep the brain happy, healthy. All right, we're going to do 6 more. See if you're doing the same on both sides. Are you rotating the same? See if your focus will allow you to. I have to pay a little bit more attention on my left side, for example, to rotate that same distance. 1 more on each. My right side easily goes there. My left side needs some attention. Now we're going to let that go and just take a side stretch. So this is called lateral flexion. I'm going to flatten one hand so it's got the benefit of that nervous system, benefit of the hand being flat. We're going to rotate down. My top hand's opened up too. QL, that muscle between the rib and the pelvis, open up towards the sky. Now you've got more obliques, which is helpful for posture opening. Take a big breath into that rib cage. Go up, over, flat hands if you can. Stretch them out. This left hip acts like an anchor. You're kind of Velcroed to the floor. Rotate towards the floor. Rotate towards the sky. Breathe in. Come up. Should feel like, able to breathe more. Grab a medium or so band, and you're going to take the feet long. I'm going to also encourage us to grab a sip. So you've got 8 to 12 ounces during class. I've got lemon in mine for vitamin C. Apparently most of us are running around with low vitamin C, and that's a great way to get it in. So arms long beside you. I'm going to face this way. You're practicing your posture muscles and you're pulling the triceps, the lats. So the triceps are helping to keep your elbows long on this one. I've got my hands beside my hips, but I've also got them far enough out that I don't hit the floor with my knuckles or feel like I have to shrug my shoulders to make room. You want to feel those lat muscles, that big V near the armpit to the ilium. Try to feel both arms firing, going the same, or is one a little easier to go further, so try to even it up. You're working on the return just as much as you're working on the right there, the concentric. So you're working on the eccentric, if not a little bit slower. So you push and then you resist. You push. What I like is that no one's rolling their shoulder forward to get this done. You want to keep those shoulder blades down the back. You don't want to anteriorly thrust that humerus. You're tall, so your ear's in line with your shoulder. Try 3 more. That looks so good. 2, 1. Awesome. Now I'm going to cross the band. It's an X now. The elbows are beside the body. They're holding on to an imaginary washcloth or tennis ball between your ribs and your waist, however you're built. Mine are like ribs and waist. Forearms open up. So the best you can, depending on what you have, elastic tubing or Dynabands, Keep your wrists fairly neutral. You don't want them to be just sort of willy-nilly flexing, extending without you knowing about it. So if you have the spree handles, the tubing's moving with you, and you can just check your visual. Should feel like they're neutral, and you check with your visual. All right, 5, rear deltoid, infraspinatus, teres minor, all those little muscles that keep the shoulder stable. And then, good job. Now let that go, and I'm gonna have you sit however you want, arms open like a big V. Go up and behind and up in front. If you find it uncomfortable to sit this way on the floor, grab a yoga block, then maybe eventually you'll be able to do a half a yoga block or a little pillow. It will usually get better, but you want to be able to do this shoulder stretch, mobility. All right, now find a place that feels amazing. So we'll do Ys. Make sure your wrists aren't wildly extended or flexed. They're in neutral. 5. Add that magical breath. 4. Through the nose. Now lower your hands a little bit. We're getting at least 3 different angles. Your pec has 3 different attachments. Make sure your head's not poking forward. You can see your rib cage expand. Now a little lower. Such a good stretch. If you have a doorway at home that lets you walk through it and catch your hands, this is also like the doorway stretch where you catch your hands on the door jamb and your body keeps going forward. All right, let's do one more for fun. Let's go low, breathe in. And then let that go. Grab a sip, kind of give your body a little breather. We are going to stand up, ideally, without using your hands. So if you have to, touch how many times you have to use your hands, but if you can, here's one way to get up, which is crisscross applesauce. Now, we're going to do the biceps. It's a single joint move, and I like it because it's very functional. You've got to lift up things during the day. Let me move this down. Okay, let's give it 20. And bend. Good. Make sure you're even, because if you feel like you're not, all you do is move over on these. That's one thing that's pretty neat about the bands. Your shoulders are down the back. And then one way we help the parasympathetic system is we link breath with movement. So we're going to breathe in our nose and breathe out the nose. Feel your breath. Feel your muscles. You want to feel like I can tell what muscles I'm working. I feel the biceps. My wrists are neutral. They're not just wildly flexing or extending. Knees are long but soft. My neck has no tension. Good. We'll do 5. And here's the concentric, and then the band would pull you down quickly if you weren't paying attention, but you are. You're mindful. And 2. And 1. Really good. Now I'm going to step off. We're going to take a band that's medium, and let's do a behind the upper back. So grab, what I'm going to do is grab excess so that it's not dangling and hitting me. I don't know why I don't like that feeling, but I like to feel like the band is not hitting me or the handles. So palms, let's just go straight ahead on this one. So I'm going to show you from the side. My palms are up and I'm lengthening my elbows. My palms are facing up. Now right away you can tell, do I have enough or do I need more? So it's okay to make adjustments. That's what we're going to be doing. Good. I'm going to stretch that out. Good. Now, if you have it in you, I think I see someone doing it, you can add a calf raise. There's different motor neuron sensors in our extremities. So it is nice to work the feet, work the calves. I also like calves and soleus because it pumps blood back up, so you don't get pulling in your ankles. That and low potassium can do that. So, but we're going to lift up through your heels, knees long. And we're doing this thing for our brain where we coordinate with exercise. Good, I like it. There's no tension in the neck. I see everyone looks good there. Take 3 more. I've got to momentarily balance at the top if you can. Nice job. Now I'm going to just get this out of the way for a moment and interlace. Yeah, good, Lauren, just kind of moving. I'm going to try to put our palms together and then lift up. Now, if you would like to add on, we're going to do a challenge where we take 3 circles. This is a dynamic balance. Try not to touch the floor. Take 3 the other way. The left leg is, of course, working. Now go the other one. Let's do 3 and 3. So we have a shoulder stretch, a chest stretch. We have dynamic balance, and we're waking up the right glute medius, which is critical for back care and to prevent falls. Notice how your foot is waking up too. That right foot's on. This is knocking on the door of life. You're doing great. A big exhale will release tension too. Grab a sip and then grab a band that is a light to medium. So we're going to do a long arm move. So I'm going to get my sip first. Shooting for 8 to 12 ounces again. Take the heel or a sturdy part of your foot underneath the band and go out. So lateral raise for your shoulder. Good. Now, you don't really, for most of us, we're going to be fine just to go shoulder height. We try to encourage a high benefit, low risk here. Your body may have been through different things than someone else. So I want you to find what works for you. But in general, to the side and a little bit in front is the scapular plane. So that's helpful to keep the shoulder happy. I've got some control in my wrist, so it's not feeling floppy. It's not extending or flexing without my knowing about it. It's in neutral. Try the other one with your heel. The reason I say heel is because it makes sure that band doesn't flop up. So we want to make sure there's no accidental discharges in our Dynaband or our elastic tubing. Now, the other thing this is working is what's called anti-rotational. Your body might be tempted to do some leaning because it's asymmetric, but you're not letting it. There is a little tone here you probably feel. Good. 10 more. You might feel like, okay, it's getting a little harder. I have to come in some. Good. You can see your hand in your peripheral vision. I'm not death gripping my toes. I'm trying to control it on the way down. That's 16. 17. Wrist is in control. 18. And I've got my ear in line with my shoulder. 19. I'm not turning. Ooh, good job. Let that go. Take it to the front. So other heel, and you're stepping on it sturdily forward. If that band worked out good for you, well for you on the laterals, it'll probably be just fine to do the fronts. Now, can you tell how tempting it would be to turn your body? But this is anti-rotational, so we're square, even though we're just using one limb. Yeah. All right, we have 10 more. The other thing you might notice, it would be easy to lean back, but we're not. We've got control in our core. Yeah. 16. I'm going up about shoulder height. If you have been through some injuries, you might not need to go that high. You want to try to work in a pain-free range of motion. Now we're going to heel switch and hand switch. Press on that band. We know it's okay if it's not perfect. You may have to adjust. Good. Wrist neutral. Not leaning back, not leaning over, not rotating. Good. So you have a little bit of core work. You feel your shoulder, your mind's on that feeling. Your mind might be also on the breathing. It can do a ladder cue where it's thinking about a cue at a time. So we'll think shoulder, we'll think breathing, posture. 2, a little bit of core here. Very good, guys. I love it. Let's do a stretch. Now, first one could be here, or if you're doing okay with that, you might do a prayer pose here. If that's not okay, you might do a prayer pose here. Let me step back a little. Try a one-legged balance called tree while you're doing it. So you remember how we did the dynamic balance earlier? Now we're doing a static balance. Feel your left foot. See how it's working? And your calf and your ankle. So good. We've got motor neuron sensors there. We've got balance that we want to preserve. Shoulder opening. Now lower the foot. We're going to switch it up. This is called a static balance, but you will notice you move a little bit. That's just natural. We're an organic living being. So now the prayer pose that you need, or the shoulder stretch that you need. Now add that full breath. If you're in prayer pose, try to touch your entire hand palm together and the knuckles together. 5, 4, looking good. 3, feels like it looks easier. 2, and then 1, and then let that go. Grab a sip. You're doing great. Grab a sip. I want to do a little weight though on this next one, and I'm going to show you this setup before I grab the weight. So the right leg's forward, and notice how I'm in one long line. I'm not like a tortoise, and I'm not kind of sagging anywhere. It's going to look like this because I want to do a back row. So it's going to be a heavier weight. We've warmed up, so I'll just say 5 to 15 or 7 to 15, somewhere 7 to 12. So one arm is kind of just giving you feedback on the thigh. The other arm's doing the work. Now I'm going to turn so I can see you, but I did want to show how my back is long. 4, good. That's it. 5, look, I like the neck position. I'm seeing 6. I think of starting a lawnmower. 7, notice how you're not turning your torso. 8, you're just moving the arm. This is anti-rotational. 9, good. 10, your back should feel supported. 11, it's like you're lifting up your sit bone a bit. 12, 13, good. 14, 15, nice. 16, 17, strong back leg. 18, it's easy to forget about that back leg, but it's strong and long. It's got intention, like a kickstand on a bike. And then switch it up on the 20. So I'm going to stand up, switch my legs, then hinge. Now it's still a long back, and then start your lawnmower. Good. Without turning your body, so you're not rotating your body. So you've got a little core going. Little stabilizers. 6, good. 7, 8, your forearm can be vertical. 9, when you're lifting your humerus. 10, good. And we'll breathe. 11, breathe in the nose. 12, feel your rear deltoid. 13, feel your bicep helping. 14, feel your grip. We need strong grip. There's a lot of research with strong hands and feet being related to longevity or dexterity. Let's see, 9, and then 20. Now I'm going to lower that down, and we're going to take a little stretch, guys. So this one's called half moon. Now half moon is one of my favorites for posture. Go up and over. We're going to stretch that big lat that we just worked. You can also rock your foot over. Again, add a rotation down, a little more QL. Really try to breathe. It's called one lung breathing. If you're not sure what I mean when I say that, you can put one hand on your ribs and try to breathe into that hand. You should feel the intercostals and the ribs expand underneath. Or the intercostals, I should say. The ribs are the same size. Open up. And then come back. One lung breathing. Other side. Cross. If you want that hand here because it tells you where you're sending your breath, go for it. You can also direct your nose to that side. You should feel your breath going into that rib cage. You can rotate down. Rotate up. Nice. And then gently come back. Nice. I want to give a little option here. If you have any shoulder issues and going overhead just does not serve you, you could take a hammer curl here if you would like. If you're okay with doing an overhead press, you can do that as well. So I'm going to say 5 to 8 pounds. And you're going to press I want you to do what you need to though. That a girl, Michelle, thank you. I like it. Yeah. And up. Good. Or if that makes your back inwardly curve too much and your shoulders are really tight, then you'll want to do a different one. So that's why I gave that hammer curl variation. Notice how your ribs, you're pulling them down a little bit when you go up so your abs are on board. Good. That a girl. That's it. Yep, just do what you can. We have 10 more, or the best you can do. You can always switch if you need to hand weights, or you can switch to a hammer curl. Love it. Do you feel your triceps helping a little bit right there? That's good. Feel how your body has to be in kinesthetic awareness of what's going on because you've got a weight over your head. Breathing in the nose. 19. 20. Now we're going to lower those hand weights down safely. Notice I came down like a hammer curl. Grab a sip. Good job, guys. We're going to do a cow face stretch for posture. Now, one arm's going to pat yourself on the back. One arm's going to find your hand. Grab a band if you need to. If you want one more challenge, stand right foot in front of the left so you're a tightrope walker. There's a little balance going on with that. Now switch, left arm up. Now if you want one more balance challenge, left foot in front of the right foot. All 10 toes are forward. Some people tend to toe out, you'll notice. See if all 10 toes can go forward. It's okay to have up to a 5% external rotation for most of us in the feet, but for this balance challenge, all 10 toes are forward, neutral, femur. Nice. And then let that go. We'll just do a little Qigong move. Knocking on the door of life, bias in the exhales. This calms the nervous system, calms the brain, the activity from the left and right side of the brain. Releasing any tension in your body. I want us to take a lateral raise, so it's going to look like this with your hand weights. If you don't have a hand weight, you can use a lighter band and do it either one side at a time or both at the same time with a lower range of motion. But if you can, I'm going to start with somewhere between a 3 and an 8, I'd say. Now, it's okay to change. In fact, I might show that today. I'm only going to shoulder height or lower if you need to. We're here to do good and do no harm. So you want to listen to your body. Love it. Good. It's almost like you're a bellows. You're like an inhale and an exhale with your movement. I'm not going any higher than shoulder height. I've got some awareness of my wrist. We've got awareness of our wrist, awareness of our knees. A little slowing down on the return. It's almost like you're going through water. Good. Have you ever played with aqua dumbbells? It's kind of like that. You're resisting. You're not just letting gravity take over. One more. Now we're going to lower that down. And I want to have us do a plank. Now, if you would care to join me, you can come down without using your hands. So one way to do this is sort of like a reverse lunge. Once your knee softly hits the floor, you whip your foot around and you're down. Really good job. Let's do a plank. I'm going to have us hold for 30 seconds. Do the best you can. Here we go. Energize. and up. If you need to modify, go to your knees or the flesh above your knees. Hold. So we're including the abs and the upper back in our weight training because we care about posture. 10, 15, and the back's probably the most forgotten body part, and we are going to have great backs. 20, 25, feel your abs pull up, head pull back. And then let yourself go down on the pelvis. Right here we're in Sphinx or Swan. Now we're going to lower down and take your hands either at your hips or at your lumbar spine. All right, so when you're ready, we're going to lift up your back and lower. Lift up your back and legs and lower. And up. We're doing 10 of these, and up. And 5. Good. Feel your deltoids also help pull your arms up. 6. 7. Feel your back. 8. 9. Now see if you can hold it up for 10. I know you can. 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then on the 10, child's pose or a down dog. I'm going to pull my toes under in this child's pose to make sure the feet have attention one more time. It's really good for the back. It's really good for balance. I'm going to pass through down dog. If you'd like to join me, do that. And then walk back up. And then stand. Whew. All right, here we go. We're going to take a little bit of a feet wide. Take an inhale to go up. And exhale. And inhale to go up. Take as full a breath as you can. Not many times during the day we think about our breath, so here we go. Now, catch your hands if they will. If not, just do the best you can. So maybe just one arm. Michelle, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then let your hands down. Now, a balanced posture. You want to pretend there's 4 corners of alignment on your feet. You're not deviating to the ankle. Your toes don't have a claw grip. Your knees are long but soft. Your pelvis, if it were a bowl of water, wouldn't spill forward or back. Your pelvis is neutral. Ribs are right over the pelvis, not forward or back. Your shoulders are relaxed down. I'm going to externally rotate them slightly. There should be no tension here, but just enough that you can feel like they're open. That opens the chest. From the side, the ears in line with the shoulder. Jaw parallel with the floor. Now be here lightly so you're not efforting, but you're just here. Let your body, your fascia, your nervous system, your breath get used to this position. Take a full breath. And we'll give an appreciation to our body, mind, and spirit for all of the good work that it did today and how we started our day off on the right foot. And we'll keep that energy going for the rest of the day. If you ever feel like you're wobbling, you can always come back to this feeling, to this breath, and recapture your center of peace that is naturally yours. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. You look marvelous.